Probably wondering why I don't have my Mario hat on. Well, unfortunately, the room is currently a mess, and I honestly couldn't find it. So, what we're doing today is we're going to be discussing... Can't even hold it. Baby. Circus Baby, to be specific. Five Nights at Freddy's World. After I beat the update and killed the rainbow, decided to tell me, hey, go after Circus Baby. You need to go find her. She's going to be a big deal. So, with all my time traveling antics and loading the game, I have decided that yes, I'm going to take on Circus Baby. I'm going to take on all of her minions as well. Today we are playing Five Nights at Freddy's sister location. This ought to be interesting. The last time I actually played one of the horror games, I kind of wussed out and got mauled by a rabbit. So, what to do here? Well, I think I have an idea. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use all the figurines that I have of all of these characters and create totems for every one of them. Let's see if I can get it to work, huh? Protection spell. Oh yes, everyone's here. We have Baby. We have Faceless Baby. Oh, of course. We have Foxy. We even have Faceless Foxy. Oh, yes. And last but not least, we have Funtime Freddy. Where's the faceless version of you? Oh. Okay, all jump scares aside, we're taking on Baby. That's what the game told us to do. That's what we're going to be dealing with here. Five Nights at Freddy's sister location. Let's play it. Let's go. This time, instead of a security guard, I'm a repair guy. Ah, see? Already changing my tactics to begin with. So, let's take on Baby! Ooh. You know, these titles aren't getting much better. Let's go with it. Roll the clip.
It seems you are taking a long time. Please proceed as quickly and as quietly as possible.
So, let's start with the plot first. What's the plot to Five Nights at Freddy's sister location? Drumroll, please! I don't actually have a sound audio clip for drumroll, so just imagine it. The plot is that you are going down and fixing the animatronics. That's right, you're the midnight repair guy. And do you know what that means? It means that the animatronics decide to use your body as a costume and pretend to be human as they literally leave the facility. What the hell kind of plot is that? Yeah, unfortunately, that's the actual plot. I mean, Baby gives you some background story. You're probably playing as Michael Afton, because when aren't you playing as Michael Afton anymore? So, yeah, that's pretty much it. This is kind of the birth of one of the two purple guys, which is kind of interesting, but kind of terrifying all at the same time. Is that what William Afton is going through? The purple mutation? I'll talk about the purple mutation in a bit, but yeah, pretty much you get possessed by the end of the game. I hate to spoil it, but that's it. If you were, thinking that there wasn't going to be some type of, plot here because everything's interpreted, no, this is actually a legitimate plot in a Five Nights at Freddy's game. This is definitely more plot heavy and more adventure heavy too. I'll get into that in a bit too. Let's go talk about the characters for a bit, shall we? So while plot isn't all that heavy and it's weird, that's for sure, the characters aren't much better. The only one that really presumes a personality would probably be Baby. Well, she's the only character that gets any development here anyway. She possibly killed some girl. We find out later that that's probably Elizabeth Afton. And she's now either possessed by her or Baby's just kind of trying to pretend to be her. I'm not sure, but Baby knows how to pretend and act like there's nothing wrong here, while the other animatronics are killing people left and right, including some workers. You see their hanging bodies. It's quite terrifying. But you have characters like Ballora, you have Funtime Freddy, who I've already introduced earlier in the video, and you definitely... Wait a minute. Hold on a second. Didn't I forgo buying a Ballora figurine just because it was ugly? Uh-oh. Well, damn. Anyway, yeah, Ballora, Funtime Freddy, Funtime Foxy. I have all the figurines for that one, thankfully. And a few other interesting, smaller characters here and there, but Baby's the main go-to. You do hear Ballora talking, and she doesn't seem to bother you because she can't see you. Funtime Freddy is definitely high-pitched, oddly enough, for his bulk. And, yeah, they all kind of pursued a unique, interesting personality, despite not getting any character development, or at least not true character development. It's nice. It's definitely interesting to have voice acting before Legend of Zelda got voice acting, but that's beside the point. But yeah, there you go. I mean, there's plenty of charm and characterization to each character as they're trying to kill you. Let's move on to the gameplay, shall we? So the gameplay here is a bit varied. It's still a point-and-click adventure, and this time I can actually say adventure because you're doing more than just sitting in one room waiting for animatronics to come kill you. You're actually doing quite a bit. The first night is pretty dull, you're just checking up on the animatronics, but the second night you actually have to survive. And you're basically in the room where Baby kind of is kept, and you're trying to hold a door closed as these small little animatronics are trying to get into you and, well, kill you. Lovely. But then the second night you're crawling quietly through Ballora's auditorium, where you have to listen to music and hear her coming close, and if she is coming close, you gotta stop and wait for her to go by. Also, in that particular night, and this is the one place that freaked me the hell out, you have to deal with Funtime Freddy coming closer and closer to you while you're trying to turn back on the power. Basically, it's like trying to look at the cameras while you know something's in the office with you, and it's getting ever so close to your location. You can cue up some audio from his hand puppet to try and, coax him, but after losing to the first time, this freaked me the hell out. But the rest of it wasn't that scary, but was certainly more fun. And that's kind of a good thing, really. You had to also go through a room with Foxy in it, and to do that, you basically have to move slowly, but surely, to get to the other side of the room, or else Foxy'll just kill you. You also have to repair for Funtime Freddy. I almost said Golden Freddy, but no, it's Funtime Freddy, I promise. Golden Freddy hasn't been spotted by me yet. And you also have to do some repair work for Baby, or else some type of agglomeration of animatronic parts comes at you and kills you. Ugh. It's kind of bad. It really is. That one particular part, because you have to do it so fast, is kind of a frustrating endeavor. But I'll explain more of that in level design. In fact, let's talk about level design just a tad bit here, because unfortunately the gameplay dictates the level design, and the level design dictates the gameplay. what you're doing is pointing and clicking, sure, but you're doing something different each day. So I'm talking about gameplay, sure, but I'm also talking about level design. And I will basically say that while Night 4 in and of itself is kind of frustrating, Scott kind of toned it down to be a bit easier. You're basically stuck in a Springtrap suit where you're kind of trying to shake off mini Belloras or mini Renas or whatever the hell they're called, and you're trying to also keep these spring locks from snapping and killing you, resulting in a jump scare, obviously. And Bellora is halfway dead right in front of you, staring into your suit. That's not creepy or nothing. But then Night 5, to me personally, was the most frustrating thing, because you had to click numbers on this number pad. And the numbers go by kind of quickly. If you don't do it fast enough, you die. It's not necessarily fun, because the number pad is incredibly small. It's easy to misclick on that stupid thing, and if you misclick, you also die. Take too long, and you die. And it's not as if the numbers are posted on the actual number pad itself. So basically you have to remember the number scheme 1 through 9 and then 0, and where they would be, like if you were dialing a phone or something. Which I'm sure most people remember that kind of thing. I typically don't. So yeah, that was frustrating to me to no end. But I managed to deal with it and get to the ending of the game. It's not like there's anything else to talk about. I'm just kind of running through this pretty quickly. It's actually a pretty quick game, but yeah, let's go talk about the secrets and side quests in this. Let's talk about them, huh? So you're probably wondering, what exactly did I do for secrets and side quests? Not a whole lot. And I'm going to tell you why. I already know what the storyline entails for Five Nights at Freddy's. I kind of have already seen this stuff before. I don't really feel like going through something stupidly hard just to showcase it here. There are other channels that do that. What I'm going to do, though, is I will briefly talk about these things. So, after you finish the game, what's there to do? Well, first off, if you manage to beat this minigame that pops up every now and again when you die, or if you beat the game and actually unlock the extras menu, you can just play it there, you have to beat it to full completion, and then you get a special passcode that you can use to get into a room. Problem is, the minigame is stupidly precise, and after a while I didn't have much fun with it, and I just decided to not even bother beating it. I beat the game, I don't have to prove a damn thing. When you do beat this, though, and you do get to the unlockable section, what happens is that you can go in on Night 5 and get an alternate ending. You have to actually beat an animatronic called Ennard. It's basically the fused version of all the other animatronics, and he wears the mask that's in your office. Nonetheless, it's super hard, it's stupidly hard, but after beating it, is there anything that you get besides an alternate ending that isn't even in the continuity anyway? Well, thanks to an update, yes, there is actually something you get. You get Custom Night, where you get all your favorite fun-time animatronics trying to kill you in that same office. And if you beat these in stupidly hard versions of each mode, you get really neat, kind of really okay, you basically get a cutscene that shows that, yeah, Mike, he was possessed by the animatronics, but eventually they left and made him immortal corpse walking around. That probably smells bad anyway. Hence why I think Mike is the playable character in both the first game and the second game, because rotting smell was kind of a complaint left by some of the people when you get fired in those games. Just saying. Nonetheless, he also doesn't die, which is also why I think he's a part of Five Nights at Freddy's 2. Haha! But yeah, basically, other than that and a few Easter eggs that I never saw, that's pretty much it. Are these great? Sure, why not? Yeah, if you like this kind of thing, then of course it's fun. It's stupidly hard, it's challenging, but if you're good at Five Nights at Freddy's and you like playing the game, yeah, these are going to be things that you enjoy. So, by all means, go enjoy them. Just because I don't enjoy it personally doesn't mean other people don't. And honestly, it's actually a really decent amount of endgame content. I'm not going to complain about that. Although, it kind of reminds me of finding a Five Nights at Freddy's figurine that you didn't even know existed. Like that stupid Bonbon hand puppet. In my defense, I knew it existed. But I don't have it. Heads up. Let's wrap this up. While Five Nights at Freddy's sister location is a bit more traditional in a way, it's also a huge departure from the original Five Nights at Freddy's formula. There's a lot more variety here. There's a lot more to do here, and honestly, despite having problems with some of the level design, I find this to be a really decent game overall. I had fun with it, which is odd to say because typically I don't really care much for the Five Nights at Freddy's games. I think they're good, I just don't care much to play them. And this one? Yeah, there were a few bumps in the road, but I honestly liked it. There's a heck of a lot more story that you don't necessarily need to go and find all the secrets for. Although Springtrap surviving sure as heck was one of the things that you did have to find. Anyway, there's plenty of secrets too, though, and that's kind of nice for Five Nights at Freddy's players. Yeah, sure, it goes back into the traditional Five Nights at Freddy's, but yeah, if you like that sort of thing, that's even fun, It's awesome. And overall, I think this is probably one of the better experiences for people who aren't necessarily into Five Nights at Freddy's itself. For example, I didn't care much for the first game or the second game. Yeah, sure, they were good, but the formula, for me personally, wasn't all that great. But if you didn't find what you were looking for in those particular games, maybe this, or Five Nights at Freddy's 4, I don't know, might just benefit you in a way that those games don't. So, overall, we're still going strong on the Five Nights at Freddy's train. There's just a ton of good stuff here. And so, I highly recommend checking out the game if you really like point-and-click, horror-style, adventure, survival, all of that crap. And there's more adventure content here compared to the survival horror of the last few games. So, if you like more adventure, why not give it a shot? You might just find what you're looking for. So, without further ado, unfortunately, because of the hidden content that I didn't necessarily get to, but I have seen, I know for a fact that Baby and Ennard and now Springtrap are out there in the world. So, if you guys don't mind, I'm going to go deal with those guys now. Let's wrap up the Five Nights at Freddy's series with one more video as I play Five Nights at Freddy's Pizzeria Simulator. Oh god, what kind of title is that? Come on! It's the 6th game in the Five Nights at Freddy's series, and you had to call it that? I'll talk about more later. As for now, adios, guys. Take care. Let's wrap this up. While Five Nights at Freddy's sister location is a bit more traditional in a way, it's also